We just did a session choosing to let go of fear of public speaking. So it's the second part of our interview. That was fun. A lot came up that we discussed.
Thank you so much, Khalid. It's a combination of the frequencies. You get into this meditative state. Your voice is so calming. And I don't know if other people have this same, but I have this every time also when I have the recorded session that we did in our course. Sometimes my left brain tingles, and then sometimes my right brain tingles. It's like tangible tingles. You can really feel it sometimes. So it's it's a powerful, it feels very powerful, and thank you so much.
Interesting. Yeah, I think that we work with both hemispheres and balance things. Yeah, for sure.
It's not uncomfortable. It's just like it's interesting. Like once in a while I notice it. But yeah, it's I think what is so special is that you always tie it back to the heart center, and I feel what I discovered through the course is how big my heart actually is and how I want to say, not in a bad way, but how much I mistreated my own heart or neglected, I want to say, in a very long, long time. And I always made sure I'm getting emotional a little, but every cup around me is full all the time, because that was a safe place. As long as everyone else's cup was full, I was safe. And so that was a normal reaction. And therefore, I think my going into hospitality was an easy way because it helped me to fill other people's cup quickly. And now, you know, I even I didn't share it before, but I wrote a poem, and I'm not a poet, don't get me wrong, but I wrote a poem to my own heart. And I don't know if you like me to share it, but it's it's not too long, but or maybe I share it later, but it's I'm just basically saying that I'm so sorry that I neglected you for so long, and I am now vowing to take care of you and make you my priority. And I think that was part of, what really.
Oh, that makes me tear up. That was so touching. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. And it wasn't even the poem.
Yeah, yeah, so that was really
Overwhelming.
important. And I forgot to mention, of course, money was always a big topic in my life. Like growing up with my dad, money was used to keep me quiet, to keep me entertained, to, give me a false sense of safety again. It's always a safety aspect. And then going into hospitality, I had lots of money I dealt with, but other people's money mostly. And now really coming to term that this beautiful energy is there to support me and my vision and my future. And really briefly about when I was in New York, I made really good money and I saved quite a bit, and I bought an apartment in Brooklyn that I sold. And I bought with my best friend of 15 years a 130-year-old house in Spain to turn it into a yoga retreat. And that was in 2021. And I went to Spain so excited. I just came from a visit. My sister was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and put in a mental hospital. So I stayed in Germany for a while to help her. And then this opportunity came up to do this with my best friend. And I thought, oh my God, this is it. This is the paradise I was hoping for. And I poured all I had into this house, and it went downhill very badly. And I am in court now fighting over this house. But also good news. The she said we settled, thankfully. So the house is sold, and I'm getting rid of all this energy on April 21st, or I'm transmuting it or changing it, whatever you want to say. But I had to discover that she cannot be longer in my life. She's my best friend of 15 years, and I had to say goodbye. And a lot of tears were shed, but it is a very good thing for me. And I'm saying goodbye to this house, but now, fortunately, I have some funds coming from this house. So now I'm, being very grateful that even this part where I thought it will take years to settle this lawsuit, and yeah, but
Worked out, it had a good outcome with
yes.
money flowing through, even though there was fear of money. We changed the money energy and our whole belief system about money, and all that is old. And we also worked on relationships, letting go of people that maybe eclipsed out of your life, right? Left are just so you can allow the people that are in your higher frequency to flow in.
And I
And
think
yeah.
restoring the connection and the relationship with my heart, now I can hear it, now I hear and saying, Julia, maybe it's not a good thing to have this person in your life. I can hear the voice,
Mhm.
I can hear it so much clearer. And you're right, the part with relationship, I think they fulfill a certain purpose. And I'm so grateful for the time, what I learned and how I grew. And yeah, now it's time to step into this new amazing new part of me, where I'm so excited about and so thankful that I'm able to do that.
I love hearing that because, no one on the outside of you can give you the validation. It's you that has to start giving yourself your own validation, and then others will be attracted that are in alignment with that version of you that you don't need anyone to fulfill you. You fulfill yourself, and then your energies come together and make it even better. But the question is, I have for you, because we just worked on fear of public speaking, and you said that you were a little nervous when we started. If you were to connect with that version of yourself that you said, I would love to share my vision, my voice, what's different, if anything?
There's a calmness that is increasing, I think, more and more. Like this calmness of knowing that the voices, I don't know if you hear it, but I have a bird. I thought like I should close the window, but I have
Oh,
a
no.
tree in front of my room here, and the birds are going crazy. So it's always this chirp, 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 in the background. And I think my voice feels so much calmer and stronger now after, this meditation. And I feel where the the feeling of panic is gone. The
Mm.
panic that I usually have. And yeah, it's really stepping into, and I'm coming from Four Seasons. Everything is so polished, everything was so immaculate and it has to be perfect. And other than perfection, nothing goes. And now I'm in the era of it's you just share whatever there is on your heart in an authentic voice, and this level of perfection feels less stressful.
Good. And how about you said you heard others judging you, like if you were to speak your truth and be heard, do you still feel like you're judged or fear of judgment there?
My first thought comes to mind is okay, I post something and then the comments come in. This horrible bitch, what is she even talking about, And what would I feel when I see those comments? And what it feels like is I'm being asked to see it from a little bit of a bird's perspective, I guess, because if somebody shares something horrible with you or shares a perspective, that is painful, I guess it's the pain that speaks out of them and it's not a reflection of me and my work, if that makes sense.
Completely. Yeah. We can't please everybody, but maybe what you have to say will help someone.
I feel much calmer. I think like the confidence, is increasing. It's slowly but surely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's try it out in the world.
Yes. I, and do you have this too that sometimes now I feel so much lighter through our work through the 12 weeks. I feel that my spirit sometimes jokes with me, like all of a sudden I see like a stage of like 5,000 people and I'm like, you're crazy, I'm saying in my mind, and my spirit is like, no, no, you will be on stage speaking in front of 5,000 people. I'm like, no, you're crazy, that's just insanity. Please stop. So
Wow,
yeah.
that's really exciting, actually. And
Oh
yeah,
my God.
it shows you things that you might find is ridiculous and that it's all in your mind, but no, trust it and just put one foot in front of the other. And one day it'll come true and you'll be like, oh yeah, this
I
vision.
better call you then, Galit. I'm like, oh God, can you
Here.
can you remember our conversation?
I'll be
Yeah.
watching. How wonderful. Well, I congratulate you.
Thank you to the teachers of our times nowadays. You at the forefront of, teaching all of us, how to really change their lives around. And you know, growing up in such a rigid household, you know what I'm speaking about. I think, we laugh, but I'm sure you know very well, growing up in Israel, I'm sure was very similar to growing up in Germany, mindset wise. You know, you feel that it was like a difficult on you. You said your father was not.
It wasn't Israel
Mm.
because children have really good childhoods in Israel, but it was my father. He was he wasn't like other fathers.
Do you feel that was kind of an initiation for you in that sense?
Yes, I don't regret any of it. He taught me about all of this, and
Yeah.
yeah, so no regrets. But yes, I spent most
That's
of my life feeling like a victim. But so I had to learn just like you, and now I step and teach it to others and help others, and now it will be your turn to
what.
teach others. Yeah,
That's
follow
true.
suit. Yeah,
You are raising the next little generation.
do
So
it together.
hopefully we are stepping into your amazing footsteps, But yeah, I'm so grateful to this experience, and I can only tell people who are hesitant, to do this step and who are worried that it's just, I guess, a journey to yourself. That's all I would say.
Very true. Thank you. It is. And love yourself. So love that. Thank you so much, Julia, for your shares.